So you have hit that slump in your hobby motivation. Well, hopefully I can give you some sort of motivation to continue painting. Welcome strangers and wanderers to the tavern. Today, hopefully on this video, I will be helping you get inspired and motivated to continue painting. So you have hit that, that funk area where you don't know if you want to continue painting, but you love the hobby. And maybe you just started and you find out that it's something you would like to continue doing, but it's overwhelming sometimes. You got started by passing through the Warhammer store, if your local town has one, and you've seen the minis that they put on display and you want to be like that. Well, it takes time. I'll be honest, it takes time. I'm not even there yet. It's gonna be quite a while before I get there yet, but when you start off and you end up painting something kind of like this, kind of bad, you kind of feel, you kind of feel demoralized about your painting. You feel like you're not good enough. But let me tell you that, don't rush it. It takes time. Also, when you first start off in the hobby, one thing that I really do recommend you is don't overbuy. Don't think that your first army should be a full army already. Don't think, if you're going for points, don't think that it should be a 2000 point army right off the bat. Maybe holster that wallet and wait until you've actually gotten the basics down of the mini painting, because as a kid you learn. It's kind of like when you're in elementary school and as a kid you do art class and they're teaching you how to draw in the lines. That's miniature gaming, that's miniature painting in the beginning. You gotta have to first learn how to paint in the lines, because when you first start off you will put paints everywhere, so it's normal. Don't get demoralized if your first mini comes out pretty bad. And that's another thing that I would recommend you to do, is whenever you finish your first mini, keep it. Don't strip paint it. This is my first ones, my very first two, and I kept them because it reminds me that I've gone a long way from being there to where I am now. They're not horrible per se, but I need to improve a lot. That is how I saw it, and so I kept painting. So start off small. Don't buy one box and focus on one box. On that one box of, let's say, 10, even 5, you can focus on learning each techniques. Dry brushing, focus on edge highlighting. If you want to do glazing later, you can, but it's my first recommendation. Don't start off big, because then you will have that gray army just taking place and dust, and looking at it will demoralize you. But let's say you did pull the trigger and you bought a whole army. Well then, my other recommendation and my other thing that I do to stay motivated is I have a painting partner. I happen to paint with my wife and it's pretty fun. And I know right now with COVID it's pretty rough to go out with people. I know here in France, I live in France, we're back in lockdown, so you can go out. And so, but I'm lucky enough to have my wife and we paint together and it's fun. You kind of do see the way another person paints, and sometimes that other person paints much better than you, and that's okay. There's people that paint better. It's gonna happen. But it's also nice because you get to see the way they paint, and you get to get inspired by where they paint. You think, oh darn, that's super cool the way she did it. I should learn how to do that. So you try to replicate it, and that's one way to do it. That's how I did it, and that's how we enjoy to do it. And another thing is, once you have a painting partner, you can do little bit competitions. We've done it where to see who paints better. We get a group of friends and we tell them that we both painted it, but we don't tell who painted what. That way they don't have any biases as to any preferences as to who they prefer. Most of the time she wins, but that's fine. You're gonna lose sometimes. It's fine. But if you lose, it's a good motivation. You learn through failures. You learn to get better, and that's okay. And that actually motivates you into being better because you want to win. Everyone wants to win, so you get better at painting. You try to harness and add more finesse to your finishing touches and stuff like that, so it's pretty good. And so yes, get it if you can, paint with someone. It also makes it fun. You also get to have conversations as you paint, and it's pretty fun, and you find out that it's pretty relaxing when you paint with someone. Another thing that helps me stay motivated and to continue painting is by joining the Warhammer community. If you happen to have social medias, Instagram, Facebook, or any other ones, I'm pretty bad at social media, but I do have an Instagram. I'll put a link on the description below, and hopefully you can follow me, and if you want to see my painting from time to time. But also doing that does help you because you get to meet the wonderful Warhammer community, and they really are wonderful. They will encourage you to paint better, and it's pretty nice when somebody tells you that you did a good job, and that really motivates you to continue painting. And even if people give you a little bit pointers as to what to do better, that's another way to grow. But it's a good idea to share what you do, share your love, share your passion for the painting. Yes, that's a good way to do it. Honestly, it will help you a lot. And if you follow that advice and you have an Instagram or anything with sharing your paintings, you can also use that to your advantage. Because I know another thing that kind of demoralizes people is the fact that you don't know what to paint. You run out of ideas. You feel like people have done it, it's tried and tested, and you want to be original. But when you go through Googling stuff, seeing other people's paintings, that does inspire you to be your own. Even if you get some inspiration by them, it's you that makes it different. It's your personal touches that makes it original. Plus you will get inspired by a lot of wonderful miniatures out there that there are. And not just that, you can also use Google. You can look at birds, animals, buildings too, textures. You can add textures to your minis. You can see stuff like that. Just get inspired by the world out there, and even by ordinary things. For example, if you are at a loss and you happen to be just staring at, for example, your mouse, you have different shades of black. A lighter black with a darker black will probably look good. Add some gray to it, things like that, and you will find inspiration out there. So don't get demoralized. It happens to everyone. But even if it takes you a bit, don't think that it's not a job. So don't overstress. Take your time in finding that inspiration, and when you feel it, you feel it. For me, another thing that helps me motivated into imagining what I want to paint is I go by either the lore or the realms. I paint a lot of AOS, and for me, I like the realm of Ulgu, hence the name of the channel. So I paint my stuff mostly darks, mysterious, like more shadowy, like for example, this is one of my Liliths, and I like to paint them just darker colors, even if they come from brighter colors. They just I like just dark stuff. That's my personal taste. And if you do follow me on Instagram, I will be posting this mini on it so you can see it in more details. So yeah, you know, you can get inspired by the lore. I mean, a Stormcast Eternal doing it in Ulgu, no idea it has happened, but I got inspired by the environment that it comes from, and that really does help, you know. Come up with a little backstory to your minis, even if not all of them are uniform in color. At least, you know, they're gonna be original. Like I have my Sylvaneth army is batches of colors that I got inspired by trees. You know, I looked at picture of trees or at flowers and things like that, and I based off my colors off of that. Another thing that does help me into continue painting is certain things. It's not really, they're not really needed, but for me personally, it did help me. It did help me keep motivated. For example, wet palette. Since when you have just a regular dry palette, you kind of think that you have to use all the paint, because then it just goes to waste, and God knows that paint is expensive. So maybe make your own wet palette. You don't have to buy one. That is more for convenience sake, because you're really buying off the brand. I have an Army Painter wet palette because I liked it, and it's pretty cool. It's honestly, once you feel like you can splurge yourself with more stuff, it's one of the things that I would recommend, buying specifically made for miniature painting. But if not, you can just do it by a Tupperware and some tissue paper, some napkins, and you'll be good to go, and your paints will stay fresh for days. And you know that your paints are not going to go to waste, so that's pretty good. And that will remind you that, you know, you got some paint that you could use and that you should use, so it doesn't go bad. So that also reminds you that you should paint, and it makes you want to paint. Even if it's a little bit, you can probably use it to, I don't know, mix and match. And that's another thing about that I have that motivates me. It's having a painting journal. I know it sounds dumb, but really does help. When maybe it has happened to you, maybe it has happened to me when I first started, that I liked a particular mix of colors that I made, and then I ran out and completely forgot how I managed to get that. So I was kind of saddened by the fact that I did not have the color anymore, and I wanted to use it for something else. And then I saw some YouTube videos saying of one of my favorite YouTubers saying that you should get a painting journal to remember the colors that you've done. And that's what I did, and it has worked wonders. It really does help in reminding you the colors that you've used, and possibly in future painting schemes that you want to use. And that really does help you a lot. It also goes back to finding paint schemes. You know, you can use that paint scheme, particular color, for a paint scheme that you want to use. Also, for the whole spending aspect of I know it can be a lot, but that goes off to my last point, is my last and first point is don't rush yourself. You know, you're not gonna be a professional from the beginning. Just take your time, enjoy the hobby, don't over stress about things. Don't be overspending. Don't overbuy, because that does stress people. And that when you think about, oh, you have to buy this, you have to buy that, just buy the simple things. A starter painting set, mix and match colors. That will help a lot. It will save you a lot, and you'll learn how to use the colors. You'll learn how to mix and match colors. It'll teach you how to be creative, and that will keep you motivated. And once you get more shades, more stuff like that, then it'll be much easier, because you started off the hard way, and now you just, everything else will be much easier. So, but take your time, really. Don't get overstressed about the painting. It's not a job. It's just a hobby that you love, that I love, and that is why I'm making this video, so you can stay motivated and keep on painting. But yeah, that's my ways of staying motivated, and hopefully this video helped you out. If you liked the video, hopefully you can give it a thumbs up, and any recommendations at what I should change, that will be greatly helpful. You can write it down in the comment section, and I will be making more videos. My next video hopefully is about the Cursed City, or it's going to be about something Lumineth Realm Lords, because I got the new models, so I'll be reviewing it, and also some books. But yes, thanks for watching, and share the hobby love.